Is it possible for humans to discover real peace in the midst of chaos and pain?
In the winter of 1805, a grand hall in St. Petersburg glowed warmly under crystal chandeliers, filled with the lively chatter of the nobility. The gathering was not just a social event, it was a stage for alliances, intrigue, and whispered ambitions. Young Pierre Bezukhov, the suddenly wealthy heir, moved awkwardly through the crowd, curious yet cautious, trying to find his place. He felt both excitement and anxiety. This was his first true immersion into such a sophisticated social world. He watched carefully, observing gestures and glances, trying to decipher the intricate web of relationships around him. On the other side of the room, Prince Andrei Bolkonsky stood quietly, his gaze deep and contemplative. The laughter and praise around him seemed like a thin veil, unable to touch the depths of his thoughts. He pondered the value of life, the meaning of war, and his own future, feeling a mixture of idealism and solitude. Meanwhile, the lively and spirited Natasha Rostova moved gracefully among the crowd, her laughter as warm and radiant as winter sunlight, seemingly able to brighten the hearts of everyone nearby. Her innocence and enthusiasm drew many eyes, but she appeared only concerned with the joys of the moment. When her gaze accidentally met Andrei's, the clamor of the room seemed to vanish, leaving only a silent, fleeting heartbeat. In that instant, it was as if fate had quietly intertwined their lives, and a subtle, indescribable thrill blossomed in their hearts.
In 1812, Napoleon's invasion of Russia plunged the entire nation into unprecedented crisis. The streets of Moscow lay empty and silent, shrouded in thick smoke, rooftops glowing red from the flames, the air heavy with the scent of burning timber and gunpowder. Citizens fled in panic, carrying only what little clothing and food they could manage. Women and children cried out for loved ones, while the elderly struggled with their luggage, each step weighed down by fear and despair. Beyond the battlefield, Russian soldiers and militias faced extreme exhaustion and hardship. Hunger, cold, and scarce supplies after long marches pushed everyone to their limits. Prince Andrei Bolkonsky stood at the edge of the ruined city, watching the homeless citizens and the charred remains of buildings, a deep sorrow swelling in his heart. He realized that war destroys not only armies, but countless ordinary lives as well. Tolstoy's depiction reveals not only the cruelty of war, but also the resilience of human nature. In the chaos, some risked their lives to protect family. Others selflessly aided strangers. Witnessing these moments, Andrei felt a complex mix of emotions: anger, grief, yet also a glimmer of hope. He came to understand that true courage and strength are not only found on the battlefield, but in maintaining kindness and resilience in the face of suffering. As the Russian forces withdrew from Moscow, the city was engulfed in flames, with despair echoing among the ruins. Yet life continued. The survivors pressed forward, carrying the loss of loved ones and the remnants of their shattered homes, searching for new hope and a future. The tide of war was merciless, but human resilience and hope still flickered amidst the ashes.
During the pause in the war, Russian noble families returned to a relative calm. The Rostov household echoed with warm laughter and leisurely daily routines. Natasha Rostova strolled through the gardens, chatted with her family, or played the piano. Her vivacity and innocence illuminated everything around her like spring sunlight. Prince Andrei Bolkonsky, now back at his family estate, had shed his military uniform. Though his spirit felt weary, he began seeking meaning in the tranquility. His gaze often met Natasha's, and feelings quietly grew within him, hopeful yet uncertain. Meanwhile, Pierre Bezukhov underwent an inner journey of exploration and awakening. He pondered the meaning of life, the value of wealth, and the injustices of society, yearning to find a true purpose through his actions. He remained awkward at social gatherings, yet gradually he came to understand the subtle relationships between people and the responsibilities that life placed upon him. Tolstoy presents the psychological shifts of individuals during peace. Quiet life is not idleness, but reflection, growth, and anticipation of the future. In 1812, Napoleon invaded Russia, plunging the entire nation into unprecedented crisis. The war escalated to its full intensity, sweeping up soldiers, civilians, and nobles alike. Streets lay deserted, homes abandoned, and shops looted, while the air hung thick with smoke and the acrid scent of destruction. Citizens of Moscow fled in panic, women carrying crying children, the elderly staggering under their belongings. Soldiers positioned themselves amidst the chaos to protect the retreating populace. Tolstoy's vivid depiction captures the brutality and disorder of war. Cannon fire thundered, horses neighed, and cries of fear and anguish intertwined. Each charge and maneuver tested life itself. Soldiers marched for long distances, fatigued, starving, and chilled to the bone. Prince Andrei Bolkonsky, standing between battlefield and ruins, witnessed countless families torn apart, cities engulfed in flames, and felt a profound sorrow and helplessness settle in his heart.
The suffering of the civilians was particularly harrowing. Homes destroyed, food scarce, and some witnessing loved ones perish. Yet even in despair, sparks of humanity endured. Some risked their lives to protect family. Others selflessly aided strangers. Tolstoy uses these moments to reveal human resilience and goodness, showing that even in the darkest hours, hope can survive amid suffering. After the retreat from Moscow, the city was swallowed by fire, ruins echoing with cries of despair. Still, survivors pressed forward, carrying the loss of loved ones and shattered homes, yet holding on to a yearning for the future. War was merciless, but amidst the torrent of history, human courage, compassion, and hope continued to flicker, becoming the enduring force that enabled life to persist and the nation to eventually rebuild.
With the end of the war, the Russian land gradually returned to tranquility, though ruins and scars were everywhere. Survivors began to rebuild their lives. Villages and cities were cleared of debris, homes slowly restored, and people sought hope amid the ashes. Social order returned gradually, yet the deep wounds of war remained, leaving indelible marks on every heart. Prince Andrei Bolkonsky had fallen on the battlefield, and his death left Natasha in profound grief. The young woman experienced the loss of love and confronted the fragility and impermanence of life. Through pain and reflection, she began to understand the true value of existence, learning to face human nature and destiny with maturity. She was no longer merely a lively, innocent girl, but a woman capable of comprehending love, responsibility, and the depth of life.
Bezukhov also underwent a transformation of the soul. Amid the trials of war and the upheavals of society, he reevaluated his life's purpose, realizing that true happiness did not lie in wealth or status, but in inner goodness and meaningful action. He came to understand that personal destiny is shaped both by the currents of history and by one's own choices. Through these reflections, Tolstoy explores the profound meaning of history. Human free will and individual decisions intersect with the vast currents of time, each action simultaneously small and significant.
In the end, beneath the shadow of war, people stood once more. Life moved forward, but each individual carried the wisdom and resilience forged through suffering. They learned that the value of life lies not merely in survival, but in understanding, growth, and bringing goodness to others. The wheels of history rolled inexorably onward, yet the efforts and choices of individuals made life shine within it.